Welcome back to my Christmas video extravaganza. This video is actually my 2021 TBR. I just picked some of the top books on my TBR that I want to get read. This isn't including books that are being newly released in 2021. This is books that are on my shelf or I can get a hold of copies of as of 2020 when I'm filming this, and they're just the TBR of the books I own, really. And I'll just jump right in. The first book that I would like to read within the next year is The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu. This is a series, the first book in a series that has been recommended kind of broadly by Books with Emily Fox. A link I'll include for her channel will be included in the description below. And I typically trust her quite a bit with science fiction recommendations, the ones that she has enjoyed that I have picked up. I have also really enjoyed, so I'm really eager to start this one as well. Totally check out Books with Emily Fox. She has a lot of fun, salty sci-fi thriller book recommendations and a lot of fun videos to watch. I totally recommend her channel if you haven't already discovered it yourself. The second book I'd like to pick up is Bear Town by Fredrik Backman. I watch a YouTuber, her name is Murphy Napier. One of her all-time favorite authors is Fredrik Backman, and I have yet to pick up any books by him, but one that had been strongly recommended at the beginning was Bear Town. The story is kind of interesting, and I've been told that he deals with the topic really well. It's a rape of a girl in a small town by a hockey player where hockey is gold, and I've been told that it takes a lot of different perspectives into account and really does like a thorough job investigating kind of what's going on. So I'm both eager but afraid of picking it up because I think it's going to be a very heart-wrenching read, which is typically what I guess Fredrik Backman writes based on Murphy Napier's kind of summaries of the books he writes. I'll include a link for her channel below as well, although how you would have found my channel without discovering hers and Emily Fox's, I have no idea, but I'm going to include them anyways because I think they have a lot of good content that is totally worth watching. The third book I'm going to recommend, the third book that I am wanting to read in 2021 is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. I read Station 11 by her, I believe it was earlier this year, and adored it. It's just like a really wholesome post-apocalyptic, like an adult post-apocalyptic story, and it was a lot of fun to read, and I'm really excited to pick up The Glass Hotel. I've had a copy kicking around since about the time it came out, and I just had a busy schedule and I had a hard time prioritizing it then, so I'm hoping to pick it up within the next year, hopefully earlier. The earlier the better. Fourth book on my 2021 TBR is Night of the Dragon, and this was on one of my most anticipated reads as well. I've read and really enjoyed the first two books in the Shadow of the Fox series by Julie Kagawa, and so I'm sure I'll enjoy the third book. I'm just like really intimidated about picking it up, and I don't know why. I've let it sit on the shelf, stare at me instead of picking it up and reading it, but there you go. It follows a girl who is like part trickster fox and a guy who's like a shadow assassin, but there's like demons involved and like the end of the world, and the first book is kind of like a cute kind of adventure book where you just pop up place to place as things happen. The second book is a little bit more driven, and I'm not sure where the third book is going to fall in there, but I'm excited to read it, even if my lack of picking it up hasn't really said that yet. Another book I want to pick up is The Deep by Nick Cutter. I do want to read a lot more horror, and this is one of the horrors that's on my shelf to read. I actually had 2 copies of it for some reason. I'm really wanting to pick it up because it sounds really intriguing, and like it could be like a cool kind of like underwater horror book that will terrify me and keep me out of the sea for the rest of my life, barring living in part of the most landlocked place in Canada. And then the final thing on my TBR is both a book I have and a series I want to read, but I'm scared to get like super invested in it because it is daunting. And that is Mistborn and that series, and I can't remember what the actual series is called. And I have the Mistborn book and the Stormlight Archive series, which I believe starts with like the Way of Kings or whatever. And I want to pick these up and I want to read them because they're so beloved by the fantasy community on BookTube. But I am so scared to pick it because it's so well loved. And I meant to pick it up this year, which is why I bought the Mistborn book, and I just have not gone into it. Basically, I'm hoping for it that I just don't hate it, because I feel like that would alienate a lot of people in this community. And that is really kind of the top of my 2021 TBR, based solely off the books I have on my shelf at this moment. If you guys have read one of these, like, feel free to let me know if it's worth picking up and I'll reprioritize it and put it higher on the list. Or if you hated one of these books and think it's garbage and not worth picking up, just, like, let me know below and we'll have a good, honest discussion about it where one or both of us is either happy or angry. That's how these things go. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.